Huge respect for The Rock. But when it comes to final boss aura, I'll fight Rock any day. No, even in the final boss mode, I'll fight. But I'd be reluctant to fight Brock Lesnar. He's trying to pet the dog, thinking it's all cute. Like, nah, that dog can't be. That dog snitching. That dog's telling on you, man.
This guy right here.
Yeah, this guy. That guy, he got in trouble for that. But
another day, another dollar as I holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans. I love walking through the airport, taking pictures, shaking hands. Every day for me's an oyster, crack it open, find the pearl. I love the way I'm living, is what I holler to the world.
Welcome back to Marking Out with MVP and Dwayne Swayze.
welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. That's for the people in my age range. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, then don't worry about it.
Welcome back. I know you like that from my age range. Yeah. Mase. 2004. You don't like Mase? You don't like Mase and Betha?
Not a fan, man.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. I'm a fan of his business acumen.
Right on.
I'm a fan of his intelligence for handling the stuff. He didn't get caught up in all that madness. Held his own down.
Hey, he saw it early and bounced.
Yeah, I see where some clips of Cam talking about where Mase was holding back on some business deals that did better for them. I just never was a fan of Mase and his MCing.
Right on.
It worked for me. Man.
How'd you put it? The seasoning, just different seasoning.
Just different bars.
All right.
He just sounds sleepy to me, man. Yeah, he just sounds his style, and I ain't gonna ask who smashed the E class. It's like, yeah, he's not bad. I'm not saying he's bad. He's just not my favorite.
Right on.
Yeah, from that era.
We're looking at 9-8.
Remember, I didn't get home till 99.
Oh, okay.
I got home 99, and I started working on the club scene 99 going into 2000.
Oh, yeah, so Mase is done. The version of Mase that you would have got was not Mase.
Yeah, but still, the stuff that I heard, I was listening to stuff retroactive. It just didn't sit with me.
That's not like YouTube era mixtape radio, or not YouTube, but the like radio era Mase, the freestyle, where you get emotion. He was out rapping Jadakiss and the Locks and everybody. No BS.
Mase was out rapping Jadakiss.
Yes.
I call.
Yes.
I'm throwing the flag.
Any hip hop fans?
I'm throwing the flag. Mase was never out rapping Jadakiss.
Yes, P.
Not for 1 second. Not for 1 second.
He did.
No.
I'm gonna find, before we wrap up today, I'm gonna find some YouTube videos where the whole Bad Boy was inside.
You lost me right then.
What do you mean? Well, Bad Boys and Biggie, the Locks and Mase.
Yeah, well, the Jadakiss, I like Jadakiss post-Locks. I mean, with the Locks, they had their thing, but like Jadakiss, like solo Jadakiss.
See, that's 04 then. Yeah, that's 04, 05. Yeah.
No.
That's when he turns into the guy he is today.
Okay, because that Jadakiss, I'm heavy with Jadakiss.
Right on.
Yeah, just Murder Mase just never really...
How did we get into the hot take segment before we started?
Before we got to the hot take segment. Murder Mase or Jadakiss? Who, I know by the numbers is Mase. Yeah. Super, but just by the bars.
By the niceness?
By the bars?
I give it to Kiss too. I give it to Kiss.
All right,
I give it to Kiss.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we saw what he did at that Versus. That was amazing.
Yes. Remember
that?
that?
Amazing. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah. Okay. And then we haven't even got to the hot take yet.
Yeah, so you want to start with hot take?
Let's go with that. Let's start with the hot take.
Hot take. I'm not sure if we have graphics yet, but Ryan, if we do, put them up right here. All right, hot take for today. Between The Rock and Brock Lesnar, who is the better modern final boss heel and why, in your view?
Brock. There's no question. Like, Rocky, we know he's one of my all-time favorites. There's no question. And when he came back with that final boss shtick, like, he is legit the final boss. TKO board, like, boss. He got the power to fire anybody. So he is legit the final boss. Huge respect for The Rock. But when it comes to final boss aura, I'll fight Rock any day. No, even in the final boss mode, I'll fight. But I'd be reluctant to fight Brock Lesnar. When we're looking, and I'm looking across at who is more threatening, who has more presence of fear, like the final boss, you should look at the final boss and go, I don't know if this is a good idea, you know. I don't get that aura from
You don't get that from Rocky?
I get him as like the final crime boss who's sending at you, but he ain't whooping nobody. You know, Brock, I look at Brock as, you know, when you beat everybody and this Brock just quietly just smiles at you and takes off. And like, I'm gonna kill you now. I mean, for the gimmick, the stick, you know, the final boss in his position and Rock's that dude. But, you know, we talking about like fighting, video game, where the final boss, the last person you got to beat the game. Nah, that's Brock, man.
That's Brock.
Day. All day, man.
Well, guys, let us know if you agree with MVP or if you agree with me, because you guys should already know my position on this. It's The Rock.
Why?
And it's The Rock because he controls the presence in any room he's in. His aura, what is he able to do on the mic? Rocky can beat you before the bell even rings. And I don't think that you can beat yourself, you know, like mentally, not being able to
That's true.
Go up against
But let me ask you this. You're in great shape. You've been sticking to your diet. You've been doing your box jumps and your crossfitting, and you're ready to go. Monica and Hallie stand on the other side of this precipice, and you got to fight The Rock or Brock Lesnar to save your family.
My namesake, Dwayne Johnson, got to go down. But
final boss is the dude you don't want to see.
This is professional wrestling.
The dude you don't want to see. You show me anybody on any list that say they'd rather fight Brock Lesnar than The Rock.
Yeah.
That's final boss energy.
Right.
He's the final boss in terms of standing up in the tower, you know, sending guys like Brock at you, you know.
Or Travis Scott. I digress.
I greatly. But like Rock, I don't take nothing from Rock. Rock's that dude. Rock, you know, I love The Rock. And you're right, yeah, he can beat you before you even get in the ring on the mic. But final boss is the last dude you got to beat in the game to beat the game. I don't want to fight Brock Lesnar any day. To the contrary, I'll fight Rocky any day. So final boss, I get it with the swagger and the position, you know, like Rocky's that dude. But if we're talking about pro wrestling, the last dude you want to fight, you got to line them up, the last dude you want to fight. And I can fight. I train to fight.
Yeah.
The last dude I want to fight is Brock.
Brock. Maybe I should have wrote this question with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar.
Ooh.
That's what I should have.
Now we got a conversation. Because that's the pay-per-view that all this trilogy with Jake Paul, he needs to throw money at Brock and Bobby. And let's see what that fight, because who doesn't want to see that?
Facts.
I just think both of them dudes are so rich, they wouldn't want to fight at this point.
Why are we doing that? Let's go get a drink.
So rich, you'd have to throw that like what did Joshua get, 92 million or something? Gosh. Like you'd have to promise Brock and Bobby 100 million each or something. Then maybe they might go in and put in the fight camp and all that. And they're fighters and wrestlers, so that pride and that, you know, like I ain't losing. No, I ain't losing. Yeah. So that'd be one to see. And then that's one where, look, me and Brock are cool. He's shown me a lot of respect. We get along, but, you know, Bobby's my guy. So, you know, I'm going to have to give the edge to Bobby. But at the same time, that's one that, you know, I'd be ringside for that. Yeah. I'd be walking out with Bobby for that. You know?
Right on. I'd want to hand a mic to you and one to Paul Heyman. Let y'all sell this one.
Yeah. And there we go, right? But yeah, final boss. Rocky got all the aura, all the swag, and that character of, you know, final boss. Like he's that cool ass dude. But when it comes down to who do you want to fight, I'll fight Rocky 10 times before I fight Brock.
Well, please drop.
Especially the current version of Rocky, actor Rocky, emaciated Rocky.
That's
lost
not the
all that.
final boss I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one from last year.
Yeah, that dude. He's all his Wheaties. Yeah. Now, nothing but admiration and respect for Dwayne Johnson. He is The Rock.
And Travis Scott. Shout out Houston, H-Town. What's going on? We're going to start another hot take segment. For those listening on audio, Brother P is having a drink at the moment.
With my face all scrounged up. Travis Scott. I got on Travis Scott shoes right now. And I'm usually the highest dude in the room. But some things don't go together. Travis Scott and pro wrestling don't go together. This is my personal opinion.
10-4. 10-4. Right on. So what do you think about our decorations we got up here for the holiday? Well, can I at least tell you one thing before we get...
Sure, give it to me.
So, I agree with you 100% on this made-up holiday.
Hallmark.
This Hallmark.
A holiday invented by Hallmark, more or less.
But with, all the sentiment, it's kind of like Christmas, right? So the sentiment of the all the hearts and the love and everything else. Do you know that my wedding anniversary is on Valentine's?
That was smart. That was strategic. So now you can't forget.
100%.
You can't get in trouble forgetting.
Our dating anniversary is also July 4th, right? So
look at you, man.
You see, it's strategic.
Yeah, and this is why you have had a spectacular career in logistics. And this is why this podcast exists and works, because he's a logistical guy that makes the engine turn. Smart. He's on top of all that.
So for me, it holds special meaning because I figured, they got some made up stuff. All right, you're all going to celebrate my anniversary now.
Okay, I get that. My take is Valentine's Day is one of the most holidays ever created. It's strictly about selling you. Has nothing to do with love and get all the way that. And my take is, if I have a woman in my life who I love and I care about, we're going out for dinner all the time anyway. We're going to the finest steak houses. I'm buying gifts just because I love her. Hey, I want you to have this. Flowers? I buy flowers for my own house just because I like the colors and living, So, yeah, I'm doing that anyway just because, And if Valentine's Day comes and you mad at me because I'm not taking you out because I didn't buy you flowers and chocolate, you are not meant for me because I'm doing that all the time anyway. And that one day a week that I don't do it and you're like, you're upset, I'm going to give you something to be upset about. Poof, you gone.
Bye.
Bye. No, I don't. Everybody has different strokes for different folks. Valentine's Day, I'm not saying that I haven't done things on Valentine's Day in the past, but generally speaking, I just think it's pointless.
You MVP.
Yeah, and that's what made it even more distasteful for me that I did that. And they love it. They love it. They eat it up. But I'm just like, I just feel like it's a matter of appreciation. Like, I do this for you all the time. So why do you...
That's March 14th.
March Madness?
No. Steak and Day. That's
March,
what
that is?
That's March 14th. Yeah, that's where the favor is returned.
Ah, I didn't even know about that.
That's word. Have y'all ever heard of Steak and Day? March 4th. Let me ask Ryan off camera. Ryan, you never? Oh, that's a whole thing.
I'm not familiar.
That's a whole thing. So Feb 14th for the ladies and 3/14 for the fellas.
Well, see, Hallmark need to tighten up and do more promoting of that because I ain't heard about it. I don't know about it. And I don't know too many, I don't hear women talking about it. So, yeah, you give me some steak and I'll give you some.
Some trouser trout.
nice trade-off. Yeah, hey, man. Yeah, but okay. So you can see. Oh, and the XOs, they say that's for hugs and kisses. No, that's the X's and O's are like, would you ever watch a football diagram for the plays? Like, you need that because these women bought all these games, so you have to have your strategy laid out in X's and O's, so how you know how to deal with them, so you can execute properly. Right. That's my take.
Bars.
This is why I've been single most of my life.
Happy anniversary, Monica.
I'm a hard man to love.
All right, you ready for some wrestling?
Let's go, man.
Oh, man. So I can't wait to hear your answer for this. I don't know if this has ever happened. You know, I've been watching basically your entire career once you hit mainstream TV. If production hits your music early and cuts your promo off, what's the smartest real-time save so you protect, you know, your character and the segment still feels professional?
There's nothing you can do. It's completely out of your hands. That's in the production truck. And usually, if a mistake of that caliber was made, somebody's in really big trouble. But usually a mistake of that level is not going to be made. It was a call. 99% of the time, whoever's in charge sent to cut his music, cut his mic. And that's a decision usually that goes above your pay grade. So what do? You stay professional, and usually somebody's going to come out to, you know, for whatever the segment, or you were going too long. And they were like, man, just shut his off, man. You know, play his music, cut his mic, he's done. And then you can get as mad as you want and go to the back and deal with whomever's in charge. And, you know, and depending on where you're at in the hierarchy, you'll go and talk to the boss and, hey, what the hell happened? Or you'll just be like, hey, what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thanks, you know. So, you know, in terms of being professional and the quick, there's nothing you can do because you don't have a mic. So you there's no audio. And your music's playing to the audience and everybody's usually rapping. So officially denotes that you're done. You're finished. So there's nothing you can do. And again, like I said, I guess it depends on your hierarchy. If you're, you know, somebody high enough, you can go and start flipping over announce tables or something, and then they might just go to break. You know, I don't know. That's the situation that there's really nothing you can do about it because it's way beyond your control. That's a production truck thing, and there's probably something going on that you don't know about that caused that to happen, or you were taking too long. If you had 3 minutes and they got the rest of the show and you're 4 or 5 minutes in and you're still going, cut them.
10-4.
So that's how that works. And I've had that happen to me.
Oh, you have had it happen?
Yeah, I've had it happen to me. But again, there was something going on that I didn't know about, that my time got cut. And, you know, it wasn't out of, you know, just shut him up and say, hey, we need this time. But usually somebody's coming out. Okay. It wasn't like they just shut, you know, in this segment, you know, to go to commercial break. There's somebody coming out to crash my segment, to do whatever. Okay. So, yeah.
There's some things that I've seen. I don't remember exactly what I was watching, and I don't want to quote the wrong wrestler, but they were clearly giving a promo, and then the microphone kind of got cut, and then they reacted very negatively, like in the ring, like throwing their hands up, so you could clearly see. And it was on the way to commercial break or something. So it just looked odd to me. So that's where this comes from.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. It also, I guess it depends on your persona and the context. You know, if you're cutting an angry promo as a heel and they do that, lean into it. Be a heel. Have a tantrum. What the hell? You know, because then the crowd's going to eat that up. Aha, good for you. You know, if you're a baby face and you do it, I guess, you know, it's case by case. What were you talking about? Were you griping? Were you beefing about something? You know, it all depends. And that's where, you know, improvisational skills as a pro wrestler come in, especially if you're on a live show, reading the moment, reading the context of what your promo was about, what's happening next, your storyline. There's so many different factors that you got to figure into that, how you should react. Yeah, you know, if I'm a heel and that happens, and I'm having a tantrum and I'm mad and I'm showing that, you know, you disrespect me like that. If I'm a baby face and that happens, I'm like, hey, the hell, I'm now going to the fans. Hey, you got see that? You know, let the fans get mad. You know, like, hey, I wasn't done yet. You know, but I don't know. It's a case by case thing.
What? Guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Like, comment, subscribe, share. Subscribe. We don't have enough. With all the viewers we got, you guys aren't subscribing. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong, man? Why you treat me like that? You don't want your little bell to ring on Monday? Bing! Mark it out with MVP Dwayne Swayze. Subscribe, baby.
Yeah,
subscribers up.
Let the algorithm know who to push out to, man. So please, y'all do y'all's job. We're doing ours. What cologne are you wearing today, man? What's the scent I'm smelling?
I stepped outside for a little smoke break. That's
Oh,
2025.
right on, right on.
The Oregonian blend.
Yeah, it is. Tis loud, my friend.
I don't apologize for
Yeah.
it.
You know what, Pete? So, everybody out there knows you're a fan of, have
I
been
am.
for a while. You've been fined repeatedly for it in your early days.
Quite a bit, yeah.
The negative stigma on, and its consumption has been taken away. That's
For the most
a
part,
thing
yeah.
of the past
It's
now. So when you're on the road, I know you can't, you're not getting on the first class flights and everything with you.
pounds, but
But when you're traveling, how are you able to get, man?
well, now it's legal in many states. You have recreational cannabis, so it's easy, just to stop it and pick it up. But back in the day, a little bit more complicated than that, because you couldn't just go to a dispensary. And it's actually funny, man, because, being on the road back in the day, you wanted to smoke, like traveling with it is a risk that you take, to mess around. Famously, everybody remembers when RVD was the champ and him and Sabu were traveling together. They got pulled over and they got arrested for, and RVD lost the title. He was the undisputed champion at the time. And it was a big deal. It was ridiculous that, but you kind of had to like profile people and just be like, hey, look at that white dude with the long hair and the Led Zeppelin t-shirt. Yeah, he's me and Chavo Guerrero were in Vancouver, British Columbia, at a hotel called the Canby. And, I told Chavo, like, man, because it was legal in Vancouver, but you just can't, I don't think they were legally selling it. I think you could have it and smoke it, but I don't think they had like dispensaries open like that yet. And I wanted to. And, Chavo was with me. We were having a few drinks and we were looking around. And I remember I asked like one of the bartenders and he gave me the cold shoulder. Like, man, don't come here asking for no shit. I'm like, okay, that's, some places are like that. I respect that, I think I asked like this girl that seemed like she was kind of cool. And she's like, I don't know. And walked away like, damn. So we're like showcasing. We're casing the room and I'm just looking around like profiling, like who looks like they. And damn it, we ain't see a black dude sitting back in the corner with dreads. And me and Chava looked at each other and went, that's the guy.
Yep, there you go.
And damn it if he wasn't the guy. Like, yeah. I went over, I said, hey man, I hate to be that dude. He goes, you need some. Yes, I do. He goes, no problem, guys. And it was like, he was at a table and there was a little doorway that led to a stairwell. And on like the little ledge above the door, he went over there and he reached above it and just pulled a sack and, so that was his little setup. That's where he hustled from. Yeah, he was want to go see the guy in the corner with the dreads, And I proceeded to that night. And for all my Canadian fans and friends, up some Tim Hortons. Woo, man. The munchies kicked in. But there was also a thing. It's not as much a thing anymore, but there used to be a thing, Friends of the Road.
Friends of the Road.
Friends of the Road. It was even like once Twitter came about, hashtag Friends of the Road. And it was just when you're traveling and you out and about and you on the road and need a little something to Friends of the Road come through. And through the years, I've had people, for example, I remember being in Australia with House of Hardcore and me and Jack Swagger were signing and we're sitting next to each other signing. And this guy comes over, he goes, hey man, hi MVP, Jack Swagger. How you going? And, sign for him and he goes, friend of the road, mate. I'm like, my man, stand right here.
Oh, word.
So he came over and he said, friend of the road, mate. And he came through later on. And through the years, you know certain towns, certain places, people hit you up on social media. Hey, man, when you come back through Poughkeepsie, your friends of the road hit us up, And it was plenty of times through the years, I just had people go, hey, MVP, friend of the road. Like, I'll see you in a little bit.
That's crazy, man.
So friends of the road, okay. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'll tell you what, though, it was crazy. I was just talking about this the other day in a little circle. Me and Big Daddy V got to be real cool. And he was like an OG that, saw something in me, took me up under his wing. And and Big Daddy V always had good. And it didn't matter where we went, dude. We could be in Latvia, Budapest. I don't care where we were. He always had some.
Is this a friends of the road thing?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, because he'd been around a long time. He'd been every, like, damn, what does he know that I don't? But then I kind of, sometimes he would invite me to smoke with him. We got to be cool enough, and hey, man, you on the road traveling, you're your stash and it's, pretty precious. But we got to be cool enough that he would invite me to, hey, P, you want to smoke later? Yeah, come up to my room. And I noticed he always had like full, but like cut in half. So we'd smoke little half. And it didn't matter where we were. But I didn't want to ask because that's not my business. If he wanted me to know, he would tell me. But he was always cool enough to offer. And I'd catch up with him later, right? But one day, I asked him, I said, hey, AV, I'm not trying to get up all in your business, man, but now we on these overseas tours, man, you always got, man, like, put me up on game, dog. And Nelson Frazier, he did that laugh, that big, that deep. And he said, if I tell you I have to kill you, we laughed about it, whatever. But turns out, and this blew my mind, he told me that he would roll his and he would cut them in half and he would wrap them in saran wrap and he'd package them up, so I guess try to prevent the smell or whatever. And it'd be like a little square cartridge type set. And he would pick up a flap and put it underneath.
No.
And let the flap down.
No.
And he would keep the in his rolls.
So it was on him, like for real.
Literally
for real.
on him, on his person. And back then there was no x-ray. You weren't going through no x-ray yet. X-ray didn't exist yet. It was just the metal detector.
Oh my goodness.
And in his case, you could opt out of the x-ray anyway, and they're just giving you a pat down and not lifting individual rolls, checking up in there. That's why Big Daddy V always had the always had the and we all the time. And I remember specifically, again, on the Euro tour, I don't remember where we were. Maybe France? I can't say for sure. I just remember it was kind of cool because we were talking about we were going to smoke later. And we came down in the elevator together to go to the hotel bar. And on those tours back then, like the fans knew what hotels we'd be at. And the lobby would be packed with fans. And this particular day, coming out of the elevators, like trying to get to the hotel bar, there was dozens and dozens and dozens of fans that they're going to intercept you before you get to the bar. They just want photos and autographs. Yeah. And I'm a big believer in, taking care of the fans as much as you can. Just say please. And man, V pulled, he pulled the vet move on. He pulled rank. Because as we were like around the elevator banks, like looking to see, he goes, all right, P, I'm gonna pull rank on you here. I'm gonna pull the vet card on you. I'm like, what? He goes, you go first. Like, oh, come on, man. Because if I go first, everybody's gonna rush to me to get a picture and autograph, which would leave him unimpeded
right
to
out
to the bar.
right out.
So I'm like, okay, all right, you got me, no problem. So I'm standing there and I'm signing and I'm taking pictures. And there's this tall dude comes up over my left shoulder, standing uncomfortably close. I look over my shoulder and I see him there at first. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like a little closer. I'm like, yo, my man, back up, man. I gave him some attitude. Yo, man, back up off me, man. And he stops and a little nervous. He goes, you want some? And I look at him like, yo, stay right there.
Yeah. You're where you need to be.
Yeah, don't move from that spot. Stay right there. So I finished signing or whatnot, and I go into the bar. I say, hey, man, just give me a minute. And I go in, I tell V, I say, hey, man, the fan out here said he got some, you want to roll out? He's like, yeah, who? I pointed the guy out, and I see V's. Okay, yeah, let's finish these drinks and we'll bounce. So I follow the guy, and he was German, good English, and he was with some other German dudes. One of those dudes I, through the years, have ended up becoming very good friends with. He didn't speak English back then. Now he speaks great English.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. But there was like an underground tunnel from our hotel that connected to a hotel across the street. And we went over there, and we went in somebody's hotel room. I don't know who in the group. I didn't know yet, turns out. And they break out this package, and they've got this from Amsterdam. They brought, European. And it was piney green, smelled good. And over there in Europe, they got these long cigarette papers. I think Rizlas, maybe? Yeah, I think that's what it was. And, they got the papers, and these dudes are just excited to be hanging out with WWE wrestlers and
Yeah.
But in Europe, they mix tobacco with their, which always confounded me. And in some cases pissed me off. Like, you defiled this with tobacco? In England a few times, I had to cuss some people out. Like, hey, MVP, you want to... Hey, hold on. Oh, you got tobacco in that? Yeah. You, man. As a matter of fact, it was funny because I remember one time I was in Dublin? I was in Ireland. I remember we were in Ireland, for sure. Pretty sure it was Dublin. And there was some dudes invited me to, but they had the spliff, the tobacco mixture. And I'm like, man, why do you guys do that when you get a pint? Do you put water in it? Like, no, man, you... And then these other two cool dudes over there said, hey, MVP, no tobacco. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You saw them all looking salty and mad. And I want to with these dudes, And it was, and I tell you that because it was funny. We're in the room with these guys, and they give the papers to Vis, and Vis is breaking up the... We're talking, answering questions, because the one dude's got to translate for everybody.
Okay.
Big Daddy V, is mountain of a man, is sitting there chilling. And he starts rolling some spliffs up. And one of the, a couple of guys spoke a little bit of English, and the one guy goes, he's looking, goes, you're going to smoke that with no tobacco? And Big Daddy V goes, yep. And you are too. He rolled a few up, and we start, and we passing it around and telling jokes and laughing and having some good fellowship with some fans, and his vibe is right, it's cool. And V looks at another one, P. You roll them up. You roll up another one, and it was the two of the guys that were there. They was ginged up. They was on that nose candy. So they was feeling right, The other dudes was just drinking and smoking. And I would say after a good little bit, man, we look around and there's that thick smoke in the air, like no ventilation, right? And the harkening back to a story from The Undertaker, we look around the room, it was like the Guyana tragedy. The Jones, like all these bodies, this lady dudes just, that dank hit them. They was just laid on the bed, on the desk, on the floor. And the bodies hit the floor. And we looked around, we like, all the way gone? That was the last one. Well, it's time to go.
Yeah, we done.
Let's bounce. Except the two dudes that was on that, they was wide awake. It was good to go. But everybody else was done. But to make it even worse, the little comical bit on the out, like we in the hotel, in the hallway. I mean, in the room. So you could smell that shit out in the hallway unapologetically.
And this is just fans' room at the hotel next
At the hotel, across the street. It wasn't their room.
No.
We hear a beating on the door, and there was a woman with a German accent. Well, no, she was speaking German. And you know how guttural and harsh German sounds. So when somebody's angry speaking in German, it sounds even worse.
Yeah.
I can't even... she's hot, man, screaming. And me and V look at each other and like, man, what's that all about? And the guys, they look at each other like they're kind of like kind of laughing, but like, oh, like what's going on?
Guys?
Yeah, and the guys are waking up now. They're getting up because the door is beating on. We're like, hey man, what's going on? And they open the door and they let her in, and she goes, you can smell it in the hallway. You can smell it. You in my room. You said you were coming to hang. I told you don't smoke in my room.
Oh.
It was this chick's room.
Oh.
They just asked her, hey, we're going to go hang out with these wrestlers real quick. Can we use your room? Because I guess they didn't have a room at the hotel. So she was like, yeah, you guys can go hang, but don't smoke in my room.
Oh.
They knew they were about to give us the and we smoked out, and they was going to need a fumigator to get that smoke out. Wasn't our fault.
Yeah,
we didn't know whose room it was. And that was between them. But the funny thing was, like, she's furious. And then she stops and looks at Big Daddy Vimy. Hello, Sonny. Hi, Sonny. Say, hey, we're sorry. No, it's not your problem. It's not your problem. Sure. Like, whoop. We just made our way out the hallway and we need to go find that tunnel and get back to our hotel. And I just remember thinking back, like, me and V, to take a story from Undertaker where he was hanging out with 123 Kid, X-Pac, and they ran into Cypress Hill.
Oh, okay.
And Cypress Hill called Taker out to party.
What?
Yeah, they called him out. Taker was going to bed, and then Taker was like, they called him out, and then that's a whole story in itself. And Taker told the story when it was all said and done. There was bodies on the floor. And Taker looked around and said, looks like our work is done here, kid. So it was kind of like that, probably not quite on the same level, but we put these boys down, that diggity dank from Amsterdam. And that chick was pissed, and then we left, and friends of the road, brother.
Friends of the road. I think that's this episode title, man.
Friends of the road. Yeah. That's a great episode title. Yeah. Friends of the road. Yeah. And internationally, you really didn't want to travel with Big Daddy V, Big Vis. He had his method for doing his thing. And
so nowadays, if somebody were to try that, they're going to get caught up quick, right?
I don't think you can do that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got the X-ray machines, and now they got dogs.
The dogs, yeah. So there weren't even dogs doing all the sniffing that you remember.
Because, not that I recall.
Yeah.
I know Ralphie May, rest in peace, comedian, good friend, big as well. And that's how we met. And Ralphie May, he told me a story. He made it part of his comedy act, but he told me the story. I can't remember what country they were in, but he was traveling with, and they got wherever, and he said this real pretty little beagle dog came up and just sat in front of him, and he goes, oh, look at this pretty little dog. Hey, dog. He's scratching the dog, and they're like, sir, would you come with us, please?
Oh.
Drug dog. The dog smelled. He's trying to pet the dog, thinking it's all cute. Like, nah, that dog can't be, that dog snitching. That dog's telling on you, man.
This guy right here.
Yeah, this guy. And guy, he got in trouble for that. But it's not like that anymore, because now, the stigma for has fallen off considerably. And I'm reading now that the alcohol companies' sales have been down billions of dollars because people are drinking less. And I've also read that, they have been donating lots of money to, a lot of places are going to, I'm trying to pick the right words so we don't get flagged for political talk. I don't know if you can just down it. But they're donating where states are having referendums to legalize. The alcohol companies are donating to the anti.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're so,
no, they don't want change.
They don't want people saying, hey, let's stop drinking. Let's,
Billions of dollars in losses.
Apparently. That's what I've been reading.
Wow, okay.
I haven't verified it, but I've been reading that. But, they ain't got to worry about that with me, because I'm a CrossFit.
Yeah.
I want to smoke a little bit and drink a little bit.
Both. BOAF.
Both of them. That's what I like. But, now when you travel internationally, because, the stigma is gone. Everybody, damn near everybody had that group of family members at Thanksgiving that would go take a walk.
Oh, yeah. Those cousins.
Then we got, or some people call it the safety meeting.
Yeah.
We got to have the safety meeting. But hey, let's take a walk, guys. Yeah, let's take a walk. You're taking a walk for. But that's kind of gone now. And even internationally, even a lot of countries have eased up on, the anti thing. And it's a lot easier to come across And asking for it now isn't like it used to be. It used to be like, if you ask somebody for some they didn't smoke, how dare you?
What do you think of me?
Right, exactly. I don't even look like you get high. Right? So it's not that big a deal anymore. However, if you are underage and you're a teenager or you're watching this, I strongly encourage you not to smoke until you have reached adulthood. This is my person. I won't let my son smoke. And I've told him I don't want him to smoke until he's much older. And if he smokes before then, I will put him up. I told him I will put you right in the face.
He's a double champ now, P.
Well, he's going to take me soon. He's going to take me. He's going to take me. But he's not there yet, though. And as long as he can't beat me up, he can't smoke. I should tell him that when you can beat me up, you can start smoking.
Oh, man, he gonna start showing up in the middle of the night, man.
No, he does that now. That's how he wakes me up in the morning. If I'm in bed asleep, if he wakes up before me, just my door flies open. Boom! When he was little, it was cute because he'd dive on top of me and we'd do pro wrestling. So it was fun. No, there's no more pro wrestling now. He dives, the door flies open, he dives on top of me, and now we're grappling. He's coming for me. I taught him how to hit wrist locks. Oh, he's got a nasty wrist lock. I said, hey, don't do that to other little kids. You're going to hurt somebody. Like, he caught my wrist hurt. I'm like, hey, man. A lot of the techniques that he knows how to do, he can't even do in his division yet.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I gotta watch, literally protect my neck. I got posted a video on my Instagram at breakfast in Japan. He came up behind me.
Oh, yeah.
And he does the goon thing where he tries to get you to raise your head up. He knows what he's doing. But he's not allowed to. And we made that very clear. No for you. His brain's still developing. And I'm a big believer in, I started when I was a teenager. And hasn't hurt me, but I just think just between you and your parents and your maturity level and your age and, yada, yada, yada. It's up to you. It's up to you. Your call. I like to drink. I like to smoke. I don't see any harm in enjoying a smoke and a drink, and responsibly, of course. But friends of the road. Hashtag friends of the road. Some of my friends of the road will definitely leave comments on this.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I have people say all the time, like, man, I want to smoke with MVP. Like, hit me up.
Oh, I see that in our comments all the time.
Reach out. However, I don't like tobacco. Like even like Smoke Dizza, when I'm hanging out with my friends, they'll roll hemp for me or rice paper, just for me because I don't like the tobacco. I used to smoke, but now I prefer just straight weed or with the hemp. I don't like the tobacco anymore. So if you see me somewhere and you want to smoke with me, a hemp would be preferable, but that's, friends of the road.
Friends of the road. How are we going to sign off today?
Man. How are we going to sign off today? This is a pretty good episode, man. We got some good stuff in this one.
Always.
Did you guys have fun? I hope you did. If you did, tell your friends to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I wonder if Shinichiro Watanabe, the guy who invented Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, I bet you Spike Spiegel, 100% Spike Spiegel. Jet, maybe not so much because he's an ex-cop. But Spike, 100% Spike. I bet you Spike. Or Spike. I don't know. Either way. See you, Space Cowboy. I'm going to go right now.
I just lay back in something new. Whiskey 21 and over, low ball. Make it too neat. Dizzer from Harlem. Yeah, I'm from Houston, off of Fondren. Mike Mazan and real world flow. Plant these seeds in the streets and in weeks. Watch it blossom. Dark night, riding on chrome, swinging through Gotham. It's me and P, repaving these.